Hi, how you doing and welcome back to the video on the channel. What we have for you today is our preview video going into game week 2. First of all, we'll take a little look at how my team did in game week 1. Then we'll discuss my thoughts regarding transfers and team selection moving forward. If you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. Honestly, it really does make a difference. We're a small channel trying to grow, so if you can help with that, it would be really appreciated. Let's take a look at game week 1. So as we get the team on the board, I was pretty pleased with it, to be honest. Now, there's always the opportunity for missed points somewhere, and that was probably Robinson's clean sheet away at Man United. They just conceded late on. But he's a 4.5 million defender, as is Mykolenko, so they're not supposed to be getting clean sheets every game week. The clean sheets did come from Raya and Gvardiol, who are my premium defenders, so, things were as they were supposed to be, really. In midfield, Saka did really well. He was actually the only one who got attacking returns. And we did say in our preview video that, every game week you are going to have quite a lot of players who score you 1 or 2 points in your team. You look at your team, especially for game week 1, and you think, oh, everyone's going to get me clean sheets. Everyone's going to get me assists and attacking returns. And it just doesn't happen like that. So Son is the weak point in my team right now, but we did say in the pre-season plan that he would be coming out for Foden in this game week, and we'll talk about that a little bit further on. But there is only 20 points, I think, separating the top 10k and 3 million in the world at this stage, so it's really too close to call. And to be honest, I wouldn't worry about your rank overall until about game week 10 and beyond. That's when the spacing out kind of starts to settle in a little bit. Chris Wood did brilliantly, 1 shot on target and 3 bonus points because he scored it. And that's what you want from someone like Chris Wood. We got him in for the short term. He scores in bunches. He's not going to be Nottingham Forest starting striker all season, I wouldn't have thought, but he does the job as it is right now. We captained Haaland and he scored, which was really important considering Salah got some attacking returns on the Saturday. And, you're not going to have someone like Haaland in your team at 50 million and not take advantage of the captaincy option when he costs so much. So the fixtures for this game week are looking pretty good, to be honest. And in terms of captaincy, I would captain Haaland. Now, if you don't own Haaland, I think you can still captain someone like Salah at home to Brentford. I think that's great. But for me, I will be captaining Haaland, and I might even be triple captaining Haaland as that. Now, the reasons for that could be because there's only going to be 2 double game weeks this season, and you've got so many other chips to use as well. You might want to use your bench boost, your free hit, maybe even your mystery chip, whatever that'll be in those double game weeks. And you can only use 1 chip in a game week. So when are you going to use your triple captaincy chip if not in a double? Well, you're going to look for the best single game week fixture. And that could be this game week, Man City at home to Ipswich. Now, Haaland doesn't really have any competition up front for a Man City striker. He's not very likely to get taken off early now. Alvarez has gone, so he will probably play the full 90. And Man City haven't started the Champions League yet, so there's less likely to be rotations, especially this year in the Champions League where the format has changed and it's more competitive for longer. You can't just sort of win your first 4 group games and then rotate players for the last 2 group games in the Champions League. You need to be at your very best for even longer in order to qualify. So that could take Haaland out of Man City's lineups a bit more often in the Premier League in the future. If you wait for a double game week for a triple captaincy, usually it does disappoint, and everyone is sort of really worried about whether a player is going to play 2 games or whether there's going to be fixture rotation for that player. So it is something to consider, is the triple captaincy early on. Kind of just use it, get your points what you can, and then move on and not have to worry about it in the future. So the team for this week, I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. There's quite a lot of good fixtures, and I'm kind of set with how it is. I will, like I say, I will be captaining Haaland no matter what. And the one transfer I could make is Son down to Foden. Now, whether I want to make that move this week or next week remains to be seen. The original plan was to do it this week, and it's whether I think Son is going to score more points at home to Everton than Foden is at home to Ipswich. Now, Son is definitely going to start unless there's injury news before kickoff. Foden is probably going to start, but he's less assured of minutes. Now, the benefits of rolling a transfer would be that if something came up after this game week, I could then, use those 2 transfers to either fix it, or I could use the money I would save from downgrading Son to Foden to upgrade someone else elsewhere in the team if needed, or I could just use that money in another game week later on. So that is my thought regarding this game week, is do I transfer Son out for Foden? And I probably will leave it till later in the game week to make that decision, because there's less likely to be price rises regarding these players just because they're not in everyone's thoughts at the moment. Now, I did get Son in for this Leicester City game and he did disappoint. He could do the same against Everton at home. I'm kind of inclined to give him a second chance just to wait and see, because the benefit of that would also be saving a transfer and he is guaranteed of minutes. But if you want my real honesty, I've had Spurs before and relying on them, it's just not fun. They don't perform more often than you want them to. And so that is why I am inclined to move away from Son. Everyone else I'm sorted with. We've got a bit of a plan moving forward, but we'll discuss that in future videos. Hopefully you had a good game week. Hopefully you're not too panicked with your team. Remember, it is just a game and, it is a bit of fun as well. So enjoy it, the different permutations. If you've got any questions regarding your own team selection and transfer advice, drop it in the comments. If you're thinking of wildcarding, take a look at our wildcard video. It should be on the screen right about now. And that'll give you advice for the best wildcard team in our opinion. Thank you very much for listening. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.